Chapter 1. The great breakthrough in your life comes when you realize that you can learn anything you need to learn to accomplish any goal that you set for yourself. This means there are no limits on what you can be, have, or do. Brian Tracy. What would your life be like if you could learn and remember information easily, quickly, and effectively? Think about it. In this short, easy-to-read book, I will provide you with a set of powerful memory-enhancing mindsets and skills, which will allow you to take control of your learning and your life. You will discover many amazing methods, both ancient and new, that have been modeled from the world's best minds in the areas of accelerated learning and memory development. This book will give you information that school forgot to teach you. The approach is all about running your own brain. I believe that this can only be possible with the foundation of memory. Imagine if you were born without a memory. Who would you be? You would be nothing. If you don't have a memory, you don't have anything else. If I ask you, who are you? You would immediately start rearranging memories in your mind to answer that question. Your memory is the glue that binds your life together. Everything you are today is because of your amazing memory. You are a data-collecting being, and your memory is where your life is lived. If you didn't have a memory, you wouldn't be able to learn, think, have intelligence, create, or even know how to tie your shoes. You wouldn't be able to build experience in any field because experience is just a collection of memories after all. Only if you can remember information can you live it. Over the years, memory has been given a bad name. It has been associated with rote learning and cramming information into your brain. Educators have said that understanding is the key to learning. But how can you understand something if you can't remember it? We have all had this experience. We recognize and understand information, but can't recall it when we need it. For example, how many jokes do you know? You've probably heard thousands, but you can only recall about 4 or 5 right now. There is a big difference between remembering your 4 jokes and recognizing or understanding thousands. Understanding doesn't create use. Only when you can instantly recall what you understand and practice using your remembered understanding do you achieve mastery. Memory means storing what you have learned. Otherwise, why would we bother learning in the first place? Some people say you don't need a good memory in the Google age. Ken Jennings said, "When you make a decision, you need facts. If those facts are in your brain, they're at your fingertips. If they're all in Google somewhere, you may not make the right decision on the spur of the moment." Which raises the question, would or have you hired a person for his or her ability to Google information? No, you want people with information and experience at their fingertips. You want confident people, people that are certain about what they know. Not storing information in your mind is expensive and can lead to embarrassment and poor judgment. If you have to continually refer to notes or manuals to do your work, you will waste time and look unprofessional. Would you rather buy a product from someone that forgets your name or from someone that remembers it? Would you allow a doctor to operate on you if she had to continually refer to a manual or an iPad? Definitely not. Memory is the cornerstone of our existence. It determines the quality of our decisions and therefore our lives. Learning and memory are the 2 most magical properties of the human mind. Learning is the ability to acquire new information, and memory holds the new information in place over time. Memory is the foundation to all learning. If memory is not set in place, all you are doing is throwing information into a deep hole never to be used again. The problem is that many people are not recalling what they know, and they are constantly learning and forgetting and learning and forgetting and learning and forgetting. When you improve your memory, you improve everything. You can access information more quickly and more easily, creating greater opportunities for connections and associations. The more facts and memories that you have properly stored in your brain, the more potential you have to make unique combinations and connections. An increased memory also enhances basic intelligence, because intelligence is based on all of the events, people, and facts that you can recall. The more you remember, the more you can create and do, because factual knowledge always precedes skill. Information can, so the more you know, the easier it is to get to know more. Let me know. Now, with your memory, you have 2 choices. The first choice is that your memory cannot be improved. You can do nothing to make any difference to your inborn ability. Many people choose this as their life's choice because through the thousands of hours of schooling, not 1 hour is spent on showing you how your amazing memory can be made better. School never told you anything about your amazing brain. When I was 8 years old, a school psychologist gave me a bit of advice about my brain. He said I may have a form of brain damage, and he wanted to send me to a special class. I was a classic dyslexic. I wasn't born with a good memory, and I couldn't concentrate. Reading and writing were always a challenge for me. Throughout my school career, I learned by having my mother and friends read the syllabus to me. I forced myself to memorize it, and what I didn't get, which was most of it, I just didn't get. I had no future because I just couldn't grasp what was being taught to me. In 12 years of school, I couldn't read a book from cover to cover alone. And in my final year of school, I still couldn't read much better than when I started out in first grade. To cut a long story short, I somehow managed to graduate from high school in 1989. A couple of years later, my life was changed when I was walking through a local bookstore. Up until that point, I had not read a book from cover to cover by myself. But that night, I decided to buy 3 books. They were all written by Tony Buzan. The first book was Use Your Head, the second, Use Your Memory, and the third, the speed reading book. Back then, I honestly thought I would begin with the speed reading book and then read the other 2 quickly. However, it didn't work out that way. I started reading Use Your Memory and discovered that we all have a second choice. This choice is, our memory is just a habit, and habits can be improved with the right kind of training and practice. I discovered that there are basic fundamentals to memory improvement and that if we apply them consistently, we will get the same results that great memory masters do. If we don't, we won't. I started studying psychology and anything I could get my hands on in the areas of the brain, mind, and memory. I studied hundreds of books and tapes, and I also interviewed people with great memories. Through this long journey, I overcame all of my dyslexic issues and took myself to a point where I was reading and taking in, on average, 4 books a week. I could learn in an hour what took the average person months to master. In 1995, I decided to compete in the World Memory Championships. This is an event that attracts the best memory masters from around the world, and the competition tests every facet of memory. That year, I managed to come 5th overall, having won 2nd place in the written word event. This was proof that I had overcome all of my dyslexic challenges. I was also awarded the title International Grandmaster of Memory by the Brain Trust, a title which was presented and jointly sanctioned by His Serene Highness Prince Philip of Liechtenstein on October 26, 1995, at Hanbury Manor in Ware, Hertfordshire, England. Considering my past difficulties and from where I had come, this was a great achievement. From that day on, I knew my life had changed direction, and it would never be the same again. In 1999, I decided to stretch myself and test my abilities even more when I broke the world record that has been called the Everest of memory tests. I memorized the first 10,000 digits of pi. Pi has passed every test of randomness and has no known limit. The first 10,000 digits of pi are divided into 2,000 5-digit blocks. The testers would call out any one of these 5-digit sequences, and I had to reply with the 5-digit numbers on either side of the number chosen. This happened 50 times. The record was for the time taken to complete the test. I broke the previous record by 14 minutes. Why did I do it, you ask? Mainly because people said it was impossible to do, and that's what my life is all about. Breaking limitations and showing people what our memories are capable of. Ever since then, I have been training, teaching, and coaching people to remember key information that they need for their lives, and that the joy of learning is available to us all. Many people say I have a photographic memory, but that is not true. I have just discovered many secrets about memory, and I have been able to use and make these methods my own. I don't tell you all this to impress you, but to impress the point that every person has the same potential to master his or her memory. It doesn't matter where you come from. All that matters is where you are going. However, If you keep on doing what you have always done, you are going to get what you have always gotten. You need to do different to get different. Thus, a word of warning. Mastering your memory is going to require a different kind of thinking. Don't judge or look for perfection from this book. Rather, look for value. When you judge information, you stop yourself from learning it. You can judge the methods, you can criticize them, you can try another approach, but I promise you, you will not be able to get the same results as us memory masters without applying these principles. I ask you to read with an open mind. I have no doubt that everything that you will learn in this book works and works amazingly well. The methods that I will share with you are the same methods that memory masters use. This is the strategy. You will see that this book is broken up into 3 sections, covering the 4 keys, or C's, to improving your memory. The first section talks about improving your concentration. The second section is about improving your ability to create imagery and connect concepts together. And the final key is about creating a habit with continuous use. These 4 C's are the solution to any memory problem that you have or will face in the future. Some of the examples that I have used in this book come from personal development and business books. So not only will you learn to improve your memory, but you will also learn some key concepts that you can use for your personal development. I will teach you to transform bland information into something that is real and well organized. This, in turn, means the information has meaning and will then be used instead of being discarded. I am not talking about rote learning, but a way to store information differently with far better results. The goal is to improve learning and understanding. There are many books out there that do a lot of talking before you find any meat. This book is different. I want to get straight to the point and save you a lot of time and energy. It is my goal to show you the wonderful world of memory improvement in a way I wish someone would have taught me. Don't just read this book. Play with the concepts and make it part of your thinking and your life. If you are ready, then turn to the first lesson and unleash the power of your memory. Part 1. The best advice I ever came across on the subject of concentration is, wherever you are, be there. Jim Rohn. Have you ever tried to read a book and halfway down the page realized that your eyes were reading but your mind was somewhere else? Or have you ever driven somewhere and arrived safely but you couldn't remember most of the journey? That's because your concentration was somewhere else. You were thinking about something else. You were physically present but mentally absent. Concentration is what you are doing when you are doing something. It's not something mystical or out of reach. When you concentrate, you are mentally present. You are fully engaged in what you are doing. In our fast-paced, distraction-filled world, concentration has become one of the most important and underappreciated skills. Concentration is a muscle, and like any other muscle, it can be developed and improved with practice. I want to show you how to get it into a focused mental state, what psychologists call flow. In this state, you are totally involved in what you are doing, and everything else disappears. Time flies. The work flows effortlessly. You feel great. Flow is a state of concentration so deep that it causes you to lose track of time and become totally immersed in what you're doing. It's often described as being in the zone. It's when athletes perform at their best, when artists create masterpieces, and when we do our most effective and fulfilling work. When you are in flow, you are at your best. Your memory works better, you learn faster, and you are more creative and productive. But how do you get into flow? You must eliminate distractions and engage completely with what you are doing. You must pay attention on purpose. You must be fully present. One of the most powerful concentration techniques I have ever learned is called the 10-minute rule. It's simple. When you sit down to work or study, tell yourself that you are going to give it your full attention for just 10 minutes. No distractions, no multitasking, just pure focus. After 10 minutes, you'll usually find that you're into the task and you won't want to stop. It's getting started that's the hardest part. But once you get going, concentration becomes easier. Here are a few more simple tips to increase your concentration. 1. Eliminate distractions. Turn off your phone. Close unnecessary browser tabs. Clear your workspace. Anything that's not helping you concentrate is distracting you. 2. Set a timer. Work in blocks of focused time. Try 25 minutes of work followed by a 5-minute break, the Pomodoro technique. This helps train your concentration muscle and keeps your mind fresh. 3. Take care of your body. Get enough sleep, eat healthy, and exercise. A healthy body supports a focused mind. 4. Meditate. Regular meditation improves your ability to focus and stay present. Even 5 minutes a day can make a difference. 5. Practice concentration daily. The more you practice focusing, the better you'll get at it. Use games, puzzles, or reading to challenge your mind and keep it sharp. Concentration is the gateway to memory. You cannot remember what you don't notice, and you cannot notice what you don't focus on. The next time you want to remember something, ask yourself, was I really paying attention when I encountered this information? If the answer is no, then you now know what to fix. Chapter 2. Excuse me. You cannot fly with the eagles if you continue to scratch with the turkeys. Zig Ziglar. Before we begin, what excuses are you going to make for not reading this whole book? If you decide to read the whole book, what excuses are you going to make for not using the information that you are going to learn? I know you don't know what you will be learning, but you have those excuses all lined up, don't you? Take time to really think about your excuses and write them down. These are the same excuses that you use every time to stop yourself from learning anything new. You can have success or excuses, but you can't have them both. People that learn quickly only focus on the information and skills that matter. Excuses don't matter, and they are thought viruses. The only things that are keeping you from getting what you want in your life are the excuses you keep telling yourself. Who would you be without your excuses? Think about it. Every excuse you accept makes you weaker. Excuses stop you from concentrating and paying attention. When you excuse yourself from learning something new, you block your focus and your energy. Always remember that where your attention goes, your energy flows. Some of the most common excuses that people use to give away their power are, I am helpless. I'm not smart enough. It's not my nature. I don't have the time to practice the information. Time is always there. You just need to schedule it. I don't have the right genes to have a good memory. How do you really know that? I am getting older. I can't do anything about my memory. You can't teach old dogs new tricks. Then it is a good thing you are not a dog. Someone else is to blame. My parents always said that I was stupid. I need support to develop these skills. It is the book's fault. I need to experience it in a seminar. It is impossible to have a negative emotion without blaming someone or something. Free your mind. You always have two choices with your life and experience. You can either learn from it or you can place blame. The choice is always yours. 3. Too much stress. There is just too much to learn. I have to change my thinking. The book requires me to do too much. It will be difficult. We excuse ourselves into living mediocre lives. We explain why we can't do this or that. We excuse ourselves from taking responsibility. Decide now to stop giving away your power to your excuses. Are your excuses true? Are you 100% certain that they are true? Do any of your excuses really enhance and empower your life? You are more than your excuses, aren't you? Drop them now. Richard Bach said, argue for your limitations and sure enough, they're yours. The only cause for not doing something with the information in this book is you. Nobody else but you. You are responsible for your learning. The person that has the most to do with what happens to you is you. If you believe your limits, your life will be very limited. Improving your memory and concentration is not only about what you need to do more of, it is also about what you need to do less of. It is amazing how quickly you can learn a new skill when you decide to let go of your excuses, judgments, and complaints. If you consistently change your approach and increase your desire to learn this information, you will master it. Take action now. 1. If you continue to hold on to your excuses, what would your life be like 5 years from now? 2. Who would you be without your excuses? Enter all learning with this new mindset. 3. Remember, they are just excuses. It is not the truth. Change them now. 4. What is more important to you, excusing yourself from experiencing your potential or being the best that you can be? 5. Why is it important for you to learn to empower your memory? Think about it and write down as many reasons as you can to create a big why. As Darren Hardy says, we need why power, not willpower.